Okay, you have your train body finished, and I already made my sheet. I filled in my title block properly. It's the right sheet here. I'm going to go ahead and place it. But this isn't my best front view. I'm going to kind of remind you this time how we decide the front view. If I look at it, this view gives me the best description of what the shape is. It's a lot more descriptive than if I'm looking at this part. If I just showed you a picture of this, you'd have a hard time telling what that was. But if I show you this picture, it looks a lot more like a train engine. So that's going to be my front. Place the top, side, and isometric. Click OK. This has put them all relatively centered correctly. I can still come in and move these around a little bit. And we know this one needs to be shaded. Okay. So the next thing I need to do is I need to come in and put in some center lines, because if we look at our packet, a lot of these dimensions across here go to the center lines of these dots, of these holes here. So if I don't have the center lines in, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'll show you the ways to put center lines in. Go to Annotate, and here's my choices on center lines. This one is the one you use for circles. So I click on this, and then I'm going to zoom in. Anytime you have a circle, you just click on the circle and it puts in the center lines for you. Even like this big one here, center line. Center line. This big one here, center line. Center, center, center. That one in the back, center. This one here, center. Okay, so you've got all those. Now I also need to put in, like where these holes are here, they show up as these little holes right here. So I need to put the center lines on those. I use that with this one here, which it takes and bisects and puts it right in the center. So for example, these little ones here, I click on each side, click, click, pops it right in there. Click, click, pops it right in there. So every time you have a circle on one view like here, up here you're going to see those same holes, and you just click on both sides to get the center line put in there. And if you have a circle here, it should pop up there, and it should pop over here on these over here. The last thing we want to do is connect where we have two center lines here. Like these two are lined up, so I want this one to line up with this one over here to show that those are in line. You have the same thing on the side view, where these holes are lining up here. So this one and that one line up. So make sure that you are putting all of those in as you go through. A quick reminder on how to do general dimensioning. I'm going to do this one here, and I'm just going to pop with the packet for a second. If I look here, on this part going up, I have from the bottom to this hole here. Then I have from the bottom to this hole here. Then I have from the bottom to the center of this circle, and that's it there. So I'm going to go ahead and put these dimensions in on the front of my train and just remind you. So I'm going to come over. I'll point out that I don't have all the center lines in here. I've just done the few that I showed you previously. You are responsible for making sure you get all those in. I'm just giving you an idea how to get started. So here we're going to look at this. I need to go to baseline, and I start at the bottom. Click, 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 this part, and the center line here. Then I right click, continue, and it pops it out to the side. Remember that this has a little place here where it kind of pops into position. So I want to kind of find that little sweet spot there, right there, looks good, and create. Once you've created this, take a look at this and double check that these dimensions that it popped out here, in fact, match these numbers that are here. If it's not matching, that means that something's wrong. Check that you have the same number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these numbers all match exactly these over here. Then I would go through and I'd do the same thing going across the bottom for those. I'd make sure I put this radius in, And then I'd also come down here and say, okay, this stuff on the back is also going to have to show up. So I'd come in here on this view and make sure that that information is showing up as well. Then go through your other two parts and make sure you're doing the same exact thing for all of those.